I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to keep eating. So if that tells you anything about how good it is. Hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to my channel, Susan's Cozy Kitchen. Today I'm baking bread. Come on with me to the kitchen and let's get started. In today's video, I'll show you how to make these 2 loaves of bread using a stand mixer and an air fryer. I will have the recipe in the description box below so that you can see all the ingredients and the instructions on how to make it, both with a KitchenAid mixer or how long you need to knead it by hand. Also the instructions for an air fryer or convection oven versus a conventional oven. So you're going to be covered no matter which way you go, no matter how you want to make it. First, I'm going to put 1/3 cup of sugar in the bowl of my stand mixer. I'm going to add 2 cups of warm water and then stir to dissolve. Now I'm going to add my 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. Stir that. And then let it sit for about 15 minutes so that the yeast has time to come to a good full bloom. We want to add 1/3 cup of vegetable oil and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to attach my dough hook and it's time to turn it on and stir that around a bit. Okay, now that we have that going, because I'm clumsy and tend to spill everything, I'm going to put a guard on here so that as I add the flour, I don't make too bad of a mess. Okay, take 6 cups of bread flour. I'll be adding it in 1/2 cup at a time until it's all mixed in. Okay, the flour's starting to bunch up there. Okay, let's just push that down a bit. Here we are. Okay. 2 cups in. Now we're working on cup number 3. You can see the dough starting to really form now that we're just past halfway adding all our flour. Okay, more. Another 1/2 cup. Okay, and here goes the last 1/2 cup of flour. Remove the guard. Okay, now when I see it really dry like that, see how it is down in there? It's really dry. There's still a lot of flour and just little bits of dough down in the bottom. We need to add just a touch more water. got maybe a couple of teaspoons of water in here. I'm just going to put a little bit at a time in. That was about a teaspoon. It's starting to pick up. It's looking good. Okay, let's add some more. Oh, I might have added a little too much. Working with dough is not an exact science. You just kind of have to play with it a little bit. What I want is for the dough to pick up all together and for the bowl to be basically clean. Nothing stuck to it, nothing sticking to the bottom. We want a nice clean bowl. Just need an extra half tablespoon of flour. Since we are doing this with a stand mixer and a dough hook, the mixer gets to do the kneading for me. I'm going to turn this up to about 4. Okay, there's 2. There's 4. And at the end of 8 minutes, it will be kneaded and ready to take out and do its first rise. So our 8 minutes are up. Let's see how the dough turned out. And it's definitely been well kneaded. It's coming off the hook fairly well. All right. I have a bowl that I've put about a tablespoon of more vegetable oil in it. And I'm just going to take this out of here. Kind of form a ball and into this bowl. Now I'm just going to rub it around. I'm going to flip it over, rub it along the sides so that the whole inside of the bowl gets oiled and covers the surface of the dough. Next, I'm going to put it into an air fryer that actually proofs my dough for me. So I'm going to put that in here along with a bowl of warm water. I'll just turn on proof, 100 degrees for an hour, and start. Now the reason I put a small bowl of water in there is because I've learned that the fan that turns on with the air fryer will dry out the surface of the dough if I don't do that. Oh yes, look at that. Tall, puffy, and beautiful. It's time to do my absolute favorite thing. Punch down the dough. Saw how big and fluffy it was? Well, now not so much. But look, it's just going to slide right out for us onto the counter. You can do this on a floured counter. I prefer to do it on an unfloured because I don't want to work too much flour into the dough. I like it just the way it is. So next, let's cut it in half, roughly. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to shape each of these into a loaf. The side that I cut, I'm just pulling together and tucking under, shaping it a little longer, pushing it up together. Then I have 2 pans that I've prepared. Let's put this one in this pan. And then this one. I'll do the same thing. I'm just sort of tucking under. And then the side where I cut, I'm just going to pull down and tuck under and just shape it. And I'll put this in this pan. Now you notice these are 2 different pans, totally and completely. This one has been well loved and well used. My mom gave me this when I moved out on my own back in 1989. So there's that pan. And then this one I just bought recently, And I will have the link down below if you're interested in this pan, so you can see a little bit more about it. It's slightly smaller, but it's a really great pan. I really enjoy it. Now let's get a little bit more warm water and put in there so that as the dough rises again, it will stay nice and moist. Okay, the bread is in there, my little bowl of water is in there. On to proof, 100 degrees for 20 minutes. Let that rise and then we'll set it to bake. Okay, the dough has risen again. It's filled the pans. They look lovely here. Look at that. Now I just need to preheat this to 325 for 20 minutes. The oven's preheated. Let's get the bread inside. All right, the loaves are in the oven, 20 minutes at 325 in the air fryer. If you're using a conventional oven, it's 30 minutes at 350. The timer just beeped and the bread is ready. Look at that. Beautiful golden brown top. Bad boy. Oh, wow. Look at this loaf. Here we are, 2 absolutely perfectly done loaves of bread. Let's cut into this one and see what it's like on the inside. Now you can use just a regular serrated knife to do it, but I have this. It works like a charm, especially when the bread is really hot and it's hard to hold on to. Oh yes. Okay, turn this back around. Look at that. Perfect inside. Let's add a little bit of butter to it and try some. Bite. It's soft, it's light, it tastes wonderful. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and while you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will know anytime I upload a video to YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me today. See you next time, and God bless.